Hey everybody, well if you saw my video about my personal injury claim or you knew I had one going on anyway, you might be wondering to yourself, what has Spicy got planned with that money? Because I've got a feeling a fair amount of people might be assuming that what I'm going to do with it is get my full licence done and get on a bigger bike. And I'd love to, that would be a cool thing to do. However, basically, I mean obviously I don't know how much money I'm going to get exactly, but if I get in the ballpark of what they're suggesting I might get, then I can kind of work out what I can and can't do. I have two options. Option one, clear 100% of my debt, get 100% debt free, probably be able to get my full licence done as well. I mean, if I can't, I am going to get my full licence done with that money. Even if I have to leave myself with about £400 of debt, I'll do that and get the licence done. But it's actually about 360. I've done the costing on it now, and with the minimum training that I'm going to require, etc, etc, it's about 360 including theory and everything. If you're going to start going on about it's going to cost less than that, shut up. No, it's not. I've done the costing. I now know. So yeah, I've got the option of being debt free, get my full licence, but that is not going to expand as far as getting a bike. The other option, of course, is that I just go and buy a bike. You know, fuck it. Leave the debt, go and buy a bigger bike, do the licence, you know, increase my running costs on top of the debt that I already have. Can you see why that's not a particularly good idea? By removing my debt, I will free up the money each month that will allow me to afford to run a larger bike. So it makes sense to get rid of the debt first, but that may mean there's going to be somewhat of a delay until I can get a larger CC bike. So that's basically the answer, is what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to clear my debt, and it's going to be awesome because I can be 29 and 100% debt free, and that's going to be a nice place to be honest. I don't care if I'm not rich, I don't value that much of money, but I don't like being in debt, and get over, and I'm very happy to get out of it. But this leads me on to a subject of people saying to me, Spicy, you need, man, to get a bigger bike. And the answer to that is, no, I really don't. I don't understand people's thinking on this, other than the fact that they see fast as better, or faster as better. I've been riding 125s now for 8 years, and the only place that it lets me down or holds me back is going longer distances. I made a video called like the limitations of a 125 talking about this exact subject and why I don't need to get a bigger bike. There's lots and lots of very experienced riders out there who've ridden many bikes, and they say to me, to be honest with you mate, the area that you live and the riding that you do, not going long distances and stuff, a 125 is actually fucking perfect. It's cheap and it does everything you need it to. Now obviously, of course, this is because we are on the internet, and everyone can have their say, including the 11-year-old kid who's never ridden a bike and hasn't got a clue about what he's talking about, and they can have their comment and say, yeah, but you need a bigger bike. And that's just, no. I did have a comment on my Facebook a little while back that someone suggested that biking only begins when you're on a 400, you know, anything smaller than that, and you're not a biker, you're not biking. And for someone who's been riding for 8 years, in every fucking condition, through all year round, that's pretty fucking insulting. But I did say to him, that's pretty insulting, and he said, I didn't mean it in an offensive way. And it's like, well, okay, but his thinking on that one is completely based on the fact that I can't go faster than was required. I don't follow it because, you know, 125, it does all the speed limits in the UK. It can break all the speed limits in the UK. Because, you know, 70, I've had 72 out of this. And yeah, that's where the problem is with 125s. And I've got a video talking about the limitations. And distance is the big limitation. But at the same time, I don't need to go fucking miles. I live in an area where I have Portsmouth one side, Chichester the other, and a load of playground in the South Downs above me. I have no need to go any further than that. I mean, yeah, I would like to go to London and a few places like that one day, but it's not like I'm I'm going to put myself in a financial problem and skint myself out just so I could occasionally ride to London. 99% of the time I'm riding within the area I normally ride in. And obviously it is true what they say, that if you're on a dual carriageway and something happens, you haven't got the power to go forwards to get yourself out of a tricky situation, you have to go backwards, and that is true. But there is another option, and that is you ride sensibly and make sure, or at least limit the chances you're going to get put in that situation. If you've got a nice big gap either side of you and you're going along as normal, if you get into some sort of tricky situation, I think 90% of the time you're going to be braking to stop hitting someone rather than pinning it to get past them. I also get people saying, you know, all the money you've spent on your CBTs, you could have done your full test by now. Now let's break it down, shall we? It costs me roughly £100 each time. So it's £100 every 2 years. That equates, when you've done 4 of them, to £400. Now, as I've worked out my theory and everything, and all the tests is going to cost me about £360, it was only in my 7th and 8th year of riding that I actually surpassed the cost of the full test. So the £400 has been spread over 8 years. That's £50 a year compared to shelling it out at once. Finding 50 quid a year, quite easy. So when people say that to me, it just makes me laugh because it's just not based in reality. I mean, this all goes back to the subject where I say get some reality, and I know I'm fighting a losing battle with that one, trying to get people on the internet to actually like think with any form of logical sense. When I get a comment from someone that actually says something that's logical and you know, it's a valid point, I'm very happy for that. But unfortunately, they're always mixed in with a sea of just like, I'm just like, well, no. I think part of that is the fact that people don't know my full situation and my living situation, you know, what I spend out each month, what bills I have, and they're not going to know that. So it's fair enough. I don't like, you know, have a go at people for saying something I disagree with. If I disagree with it, generally I just won't say anything. But if it happens to be said enough, then I tend to make a video like this where I'm sort of saying, now come on, let's be serious here. Let's just get down to the fucking brass tacks. And when you get down to those facts, you find that, you know, this has actually been and is the best option for me at the moment. I mean, when I do finally get my bigger bike, and I am planning on getting a DRZ, and oh right, okay, I say DRZ, okay, it's a product name, it sounds better saying it as Z. I don't say Z in the alphabet, I say Z. I guess so many people saying, it's fucking Z, man, you're English, blah, 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 blah. Do you call Jay-Z JZ? No, you fucking don't. Well, if you do, you're taking the piss. Anyway, that's the bike I'm planning to get. And as I've said before, because, you know, I say a lot of stuff repeatedly and it never seems to sink in, what difference do you think it's actually going to make? I'm still going to be riding around on 30, 40 mile an hour roads. Even when I go on a dual carriageway, okay, I can get up to 70 faster, but I'm still not going to start exceeding 70 all the time. You know, the laws don't change. I don't know why I'm even bothering to do this video, because it's not going to change all the you shoulds and the you needs. It's not going to change the opinions of people who don't have a fucking clue. And they're the ones that seem to say it, and I shouldn't listen to them. There was a thing I was thinking about though, and that is, if I were somehow to come into some money, and next week I was on, you know, I was on an R6. Not that I'm ever going to get a sports bike, no, I'm not planning to get a sports bike. I do believe I would get a good big boost in subs. And then I think to myself, well, if I get a huge boost in subs just because I'm on a bigger bike, do I really want those people watching and commenting on my videos? Because they're obviously in the mindset that I wouldn't watch this person talk about things while riding on a 125, but if they're on a 600, well then yes, definitely I want to watch them. And then that makes me start to wonder about the whole motovlogging community and how things have changed. And I wonder how many people are watching vloggers for the bike that they ride and not for what they're saying. Because that's what moto vlogging is. Moto, yes, it's on a motorbike, but it's talking about stuff. And that's what I am, a motovlogger. I'm not a person that makes motorcycle videos. You're not going to be seeing me doing 90 mile an hour stand-up wheelies down a motorway. It's just not going to happen. You will see me talking about stuff and being a complete penis. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I know it's not going to change what people think. I know it's not going to change, you know, me getting the comments or not, but if someone starts going off on one, I've got this to refer them to. Oh dear. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Not only do you get to save money, but you get to feel pretty fucking good about it, because you get to learn new skills.